Today, Rocking Reality presents from a Gartner Symposium in Barcelona, where for the first time the Metaverse has made it to the famous keynote speech of the Gartner analysts, in which the predictions are made for the future of technology.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say, if your view of the Metaverse is a bunch of us sitting very sadly by ourselves in dark rooms wearing ugly goggles, that's a really limited view of how the business is going to use the Metaverse. And so the Metaverse is a whole combination of immersive technologies. And one way to do it is using VR goggles, sitting in a room, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the only way. And so there will be virtual reality, there will also be augmented reality. And this notion of immersiveness, when we're saying technology is the epicenter of culture, we're not saying digital is the only thing that matters. You're going to put goggles on and you're not going to see anything physical and nobody ever has to touch anybody else. And Aristotle saying that man is a political animal is totally wrong, and we can all just sit in a world that is inhabited by zeros and ones and like that. We're certainly not saying that. What we're saying is that there's still a persistent focus on the separation between the physical and the digital worlds. These are the technology people, and these are the business people. This is the physical world, and this is the digital world. And that is really becoming less and less relevant as a divide. And the Metaverse is but one instantiation of how that divide is going to start becoming less and less important. And so if you haven't noticed, I don't know if you've seen this in your own working lives, but if we're coming from a remote environment, where we're used to using digital technologies as the only way that we interact in a 100% virtual way, and then you go back into an environment like this, there's things we miss, right? This is a meeting that isn't augmented by technology, right? It happens that you all have your physical name tags on, but there's a ton of meetings where you don't have name tags. And in the digital world, that's okay for me because I can just look under your name and I can see it. That's like a tiny little augmentation in the digital world that says I don't need to really remember every single one of your names because it's right there all the time whenever I want it. And you go back to a 100% physical environment, we miss that. We miss the chat that's happening in the back end. If you've seen the research on younger generations and their consumption of information, there are several different media inputs happening at the same time. That's why when you watch BBC World News or whatever you're watching, there's a ticker tape at the bottom. Or CNN, whatever the 24-hour news cycle is in your area, there's lots of different information happening at the same time. And so what we're saying is that businesses are going to use a combination of immersive technologies to exploit this fact. So that this whole, we are now in the physical world, we are now in the virtual world, this division, or you are technology people and you are business people, this is going to become less and less relevant. And it'll manifest in meetings like the intraverse example that I gave, but it'll also manifest on the plant floor. You know, heads-up displays and augmented reality and training sessions and medical technical surgeries that people have to learn. There will be countless, right now almost innumerable applications of this, and it's not like you're in it or you're not in it. It will be the sort of degrees thing, I think. Is that helpful?